Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. As always, like, subscribe, follow, whether you're watching on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. And don't forget to follow on social media, on TikTok, X, and Instagram. Thank you to those that have always been following, giving the likes, the comments. I greatly do appreciate it for all the support. But a few things to cover, and I hope everyone enjoyed the remainder of their weekend. It was a mixed day for United on Sunday. If you watched the match early on Sunday on YouTube, obviously the Barclays Super League is, you can watch games through their YouTube channel. So they did have the Cup quarterfinal on, which I was able to watch, which I was very happy with. So yeah, today, so there, and then you had the game against Aston Villa, which led into a disappointing loss for Manchester United. I will be discussing both games today about the win for the women's squad and the loss for the men's squad. Listen, it is a tough day. It was a tough day for the men's squad. It was a great day for the women's squad. Now they're off to the semis. They'll be facing Arsenal. On the other side, Chelsea will be playing City after Chelsea beat Liverpool 9-1 in their Cup quarterfinal. So we need to get through Arsenal first. And then, yeah, we just need to get through Arsenal first. Then we'll worry about whoever we're facing. If we get through Arsenal, let's not look ahead past that. Let's just focus on Arsenal. But let's get to the women's game, because it was huge. It was huge, especially with them coming off of the win, having them come off of the comeback the week before, especially when you're losing that tough loss to Lyon that Wednesday. So when you're looking at it here, and when we got back from the international break for the women's squad, the main thing was about rotation. Obviously, there was rotation with this game. Obviously, missing Jade Riviere was tough in this game, because you wanted to make sure that you had everyone there. Skinner going with Rolfo as the starting right fullback, which worked out well. Her adding to another goal total for her this season, getting an assist on Jessica Park's first goal to tie up the game. We were down 1-0. Again, it started giving me flashbacks of the week before. But the game this time for the women's squad against Tottenham, it was a lot more manageable than it was the week before. They did a great job. In the end, fantastic for the women, everything around. I will be doing my player ratings later on. But overall, ecstatic with the way the performance was. But again, they had their opportunities in the first half to not, whether to take the lead, tie it up, or even tie it up and take the lead as well. They played very well. There could have been more goals scored by the squad. Movement was there. Defensive backs were there. Like, everything was there. Seeing Toon get injured was tough as well. Having her get healthy, that is the one thing that's great. We're not back until January the 11th. That's the next match. So if we can get them healthy, that's great. They do have the cup final, or not the cup final. Well, we're back. We are playing Arsenal when we get back. So let me just pull up the fixtures. So, yeah, we're not back till, January 10th is the game. We're playing Arsenal in that game. And then we have Burnley, but we have we're playing just like Tottenham. We're playing Arsenal twice in 10 days. We have a league game against them, and then we have the cup semifinal against them on January the 21st. But again, Sunday's game was again, I can keep saying fantastic because you all know it was, but just the movement, especially in the second half. But again, we still needed to get a goal in that extra time. Just not the extra time, but in moments where we needed to in the final third, because it wouldn't be United fashion without winning in those types of games. But coming out of the second half, they definitely regrouped. The movement Park has been an incredible signing for this club. Same with Rolfo. Both of them here is great to have. They have been fantastic with United. They definitely contributed. Rolfo in the last 4 games has been incredible, especially in Europe. It's good to have her there. Park, you wish you can use her every game, and sometimes you do get her in on those substitutions, but she just controls the ball, moves it there. You kind of just want to have everything flow through her, and then get the transition going for that club, for that team, and it just worked. Again, Park just scoring against Juventus, then getting this today to tie it up, then Rolfo in the extras, getting not the extras, I don't know why I keep saying the extras, in the 86th minute to just get the game winner and go and get us moving on to the semifinal. So I am happy with the way things have gone with the women's squad, especially coming back off of international break. Listen, we have faced some very tough opponents. This women's squad has, and coming back from international break, when you had a tough lead going into that break, like when you came back, like coming back from break, you're facing a West Ham. You're just you're tired. You've just came off of a very tough loss to Wolfsburg and City. Then you're coming into now West Ham getting the win. You're going to Lyon, which is one of the best teams in the competition. They controlled the game the whole time, dominated. You go into a Spurs League game where you just had a very difficult game in Champions League. That carries over for the first 75 minutes of the game. You rally back and get that momentum there. That momentum then helps carry you over to a Champions League game where you get the win. You don't get into that next phase where you need to, so you're not worried about, the bottom 6. But you're at that top point where, yes, you finish 6th, but it still helps you with advantage at home, especially when you're facing an opponent, especially when you're facing a tough Atletico Madrid, which we played earlier on. Yes, we know what the result was there, but this is now a different stage. And then you come into the weekend where you're facing the same opponent that you had a comeback against, momentum, a big Champions League game, and then you're in a quarterfinal where you're missing players. You're missing one of your best defenders, out injured. You're tired. This is the last game of the year. Everyone was there. You're at the rotation. Skinner did a great job with placement. And everyone stepped up in all stages. Everyone moved the ball well. They had the opportunities. The corners were there. Listen, stats say one thing, but the performance on the field said another. But overall, I was happy with the squad. I'm happy with the win. I'm happy that they did it in an incredible fashion. I would have liked them to score a little bit more, get more control of the ball, but in the end, it's not Manchester United when you're not doing it within the final minutes of the match, getting that lead, getting yourselves motivated, going into a break, getting yourself regrouped, refreshed, and then going on to the next stage, which is always good to have. So new year, same challenges, but you're going to look at it there, and hopefully we have everyone back healthy in the new year. That is key. That is the one thing we want to have with the squad, is have everyone back healthy. So I'm just getting everything up. If you go on my TikTok right now, you will see my player ratings. So just look at that as well. I will be posting in the YouTube video. I'll be reposting them in the Instagram on my Instagram account as well. So please keep an eye out for those. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I am still coming down. Sorry, I'm getting better from the cold that I have. If you listen to the last 3 episodes, there's a lot of mic breaks of me coughing, and there's a couple times where I accidentally coughed in the mic, so I do apologize for that. But what I am now is a little bit better. Obviously, I know I didn't get the episodes out yesterday. Post on the Sunday. Tried to record. Let's just say I couldn't stop coughing for about 10 minutes. So happy to have. I'm happy to be a little bit better now. But let's do the player rating for the women's squad. So we're just getting everything loaded. So yeah, again, like I said, it's already on social media. So yes, Tulis Joyce, 7. She did play great. Obviously the goal, but to me still 7. Sandberg 7, Janssen 7, Letitia 7. Rolfo, I'm giving her an 8. The assist, the goal, playing in the Riviere role. Again, overall, very well done. Miyazawa, Turland, Olme, 6.5. So they played very well. Park, goal, 7.5. Continuing her, getting another goal in 2 games. Blundell, 6.5. Toon, I want her to be healthy back for the game in January. Mallard, always on the pitch, the way she moves the ball, still gave another boost to the attack. 6.5. Naslin coming on, 6.5. And Iwojo, 6.5 as well. Skinner, fantastic job as well, getting everything going. Still lots of work to do in the new year, but I'm happy that they were able to get themselves over the hump. They didn't have to do a big crawl back. They were the fight back. Second half was great. Just way to close it out. They had the attack. There were opportunities in the first half too. But again, Spurs playing them twice in a week. We'll still be seeing them for one more time in the season as well. So we'll be playing them again. And, Arsenal will be playing them twice next month. Same as what we did with less time with Tottenham, but, we'll be playing them 10 days. What was it? Yeah, we got 3 games in 10 days, so we'll be playing them as well. So, but listen, it's the nature of the game. So, but yes, in the end, happy on to the semifinal. Way to go into the Christmas break. Very ecstatic for this women's squad. But we have one more game to discuss. That is obviously the men's squad. So let's get to that. So, yes, now we are back with the men's squad. Obviously, tough loss, 2-1 to Aston Villa. Listen, was I disappointed in the game? Obviously, yes, because we lost points. We dropped points when we played them. So, obviously, we want to make sure that they're like, it's tough, and especially when we've played okay last bit. Like, this is our first loss since Everton. We know how that game went. Not only that, this is our second loss since we lost to, what was it, Man City. Let me pull that up there. Let me check this out. Yes, it should have been since Man City. Let me look at the schedule here. I might be. Am I right? I'm probably not. But in the end, let me just take a look here. Yeah, Everton. No, since that disappointing loss against Brentford. My apologies. But yes, it was tough. Were there issues? Yes. When going into the game, I made my predictions on the Friday with my lineup. Obviously, I thought Manu would have started. Manu gets a knock. So we lose Manu for the game. Great. So we're down Manu, so just due to injuries, because we already knew we were going to lose 3 players to AFCON. But due to injuries alone, Manu, Maguire, DeLitt are already gone. Add Casemiro to that. That's 4 players, four influential players in the lineup, which could have made an impact in the game, and it's true. But we like I mentioned on Friday's episode, it is the next man up mentality, because I mentioned not just those 4, but there's 7 players total missing, which is impactful. Like, if you look at it, 5 players that are potential starters, 2 which we would potentially use on rotational. And when we're looking at it here, we're really hoping that Kobe Mainoo can that Kobe Mainoo will get his opportunities to start, but obviously losing him to injury and he's out for Newcastle is tough. And then we're going to a new agenda again for Newcastle, but I'll talk about that preview episode, which will be out tomorrow. Try to get that episode out. But the game also came away with another loss. We did lose Bruno. He's now expected to be out for at least a month minimum at this time, for what news reports have been stating. So we lost Bruno out of this game. Listen, we had our opportunities. The transition was good. The ball movement was good. Bruno was playing okay. Obviously, when you saw him ease up, we saw the knock there. You saw the hamstring. You saw there was something there. He finished off the half, which was great. But we had to work things out. Sesko definitely looked like he's still shaking it off. He just came back Monday after food poisoning and a knee injury. But you saw the movement there. You saw the transition. You saw the hold up. You saw what Cunha was trying to do. Couple touches. He's got to put a couple of those away. But they did a good job, especially with the attack. Now, out of possession, United did struggle. They did. Especially the 2 goals that they let in. And you can say Lenny Euro, yes. You can bring in a little bit of Ugarte as well. But there were issues there, especially when you look at the shots. Both goals were almost identical shots taken. The problem is you're not, and also Delo can impact as well. Those 3, I would think, were kind of there, especially when you look at the space. When you saw Rodgers coming in and you saw the open space, you didn't see any attackers coming up trying to push, not attackers, an extra defender trying to push up and trying to get a cut off to a lane. So you saw that there. So Euro, yes, a little. Excuse me. Euro, yes. I do apologize for that cough, ladies and gentlemen. Euro, yes, for the first goal. You can say Ugarte not backing up as much. Aiden Heaven plus Delo contributing with the second one. And obviously Euro was always there on Rodgers' 2 goals. So you can say at least 4. Listen, Aiden Heaven played a fantastic game. But yes, there was the watching. Listen, Euro, Heaven are still young kids in development. This is a tough break for them. And it's tough for Euro because Euro's come in since last year as that guy. And this season, obviously, not having DeLitt, who's like the captain of the back. You're no Maguire. As Rowie's not there either. So yes, the pressure has been put on there, and Euro, he maybe they'll look at how things to set up, but he's still young. Still believe he's just going to take time to develop. With Aiden Heaven again, since Wolves, even before Wolves, he's been in there. He's been showing. When did we get him in? West Ham. He's been there since West Ham. He's in West Ham. Yeah, since West Ham. And I believe that West Ham, that was when he got the yellow where he had to get substituted off, and Euro did come in. But in the end, he has been playing well. He has played well. And again, they're only 18, 19 years old, guys. Like, they're going to get better. They're going to develop. Yes, they're put in that situation because injuries, we're missing players, but they're going to be fine. And listen, it's just going to take time. Euro might need to just reset for 5 minutes. Maybe Christmas will just get him to reset, get himself back, and then we're good to go again. We have a tough challenge with Newcastle on Friday. We're back against Wolves on the Tuesday, so we're hoping to get ourselves back, reset, ready to go. So, but overall, when we lost Bruno, you're obviously losing a weapon. Hands off to Amorim for the tactics, getting things done, putting players in positions. We've had discussions about Licha going into that midfield role. He has played. He did play back at Ajax, but that was a long time ago. And he's coming off of ACL. He's just back. We're worried about the legs, the minutes. Him coming into that midfield role did change things. You're not getting the Bruno explosiveness, the deep passes, but you're getting the discipline that we've all talked about. And the movement, the balls, everything there was there. Everything that we wanted. In that second half, yes, we let in that goal, but there were opportunities for us to score. We took advantage of an error by the way Patrick Dorgu, great press, forcing a turnover, getting it to Mateus Cunha finishing off. Fantastic. Cunha, again, it seems like he tried to put everything on his shoulders on that game yesterday. Obviously struggled in that little bit of second half, trying to do too much, but trying to get everything done on his own. Just, you got to work around everyone there. I know he's kind of going to be a little bit used to that because of what happened with Wolves. Obviously, you lose Bruno. You want to try and take that next step. But he still played well that day. Mount, I thought, played fantastic. Movement, the ball, the 10, the press, everything was there. He is huge. He is a player we cannot lose either. Delo, like I mentioned, on the D, especially on that second goal, the cross, you can't ease up. He played well offensively for some areas, but defensively, yes, there was concern. Dorgu, again, I was impressed. Again, Dorgu, Euro, Aiden Heaven, they are young. Sesko is young too. Lemens is young as well. This is a youth of teams. Excuse me 1 second, guys. This is a youth that's going to take time to develop. And yes, they're in a situation where they are. Lemens, he is an improvement of our previous keepers, but he's young. Like the first goal, tough to defend. Second goal, an inch, putting the hand up an inch higher, or if you can get a fist just a little bit higher and just get a deflection. Potential from a save. Like, it was inches to try and get at least something to deflect it, but it was a difference. The first, what was it? The great save right at the beginning that they had right on Lemens. Lemens saved it perfectly. If that was some of our previous keepers, I'm not going to, like, two previous keepers that we've had, that probably would have went in. I think so. Binder potentially, he may not have been able to save it. Onana may probably not have been able to save it. But we're seeing things with this young squad, with these young guys like Lemens. So you're seeing those saves, you're seeing those moments, you're seeing the reads, the kicks, you're seeing that there. The youth is there. It's just going to take time. And you saw that in the game. And in the second half, you saw things broken down, the passes, the discipline. You saw the opportunities there. again, it's tough when you have that and you get a point taken away and you know what was there and you saw it. The thing too is you lose your captain at half. The same captain that basically did call out the team this week. The team did not fall completely apart. Yes, we let in the goal, we lost, but in past, things could have gotten a lot worse. They didn't lose focus. They did try to get the goal. They kept showing fight. But there were still issues with out of possession, control. They did their job. They tried, like, hands off to Aston Villa, and Rodgers, fantastic. But in the end, that squad had to get everything going. So I am proud. I am happy. There were good things. Again, I'm disappointed in the loss. But realistically, there's still a lot of work to do. And there's issues too. But they had the opportunities with the shots. Not, again, having those players that I mentioned is a difficult one. We're going to see Villa again, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be seeing them soon. So we're going to be back to that potential. And is Champions League now out? Guys, we're not even at the halfway point. We still have plenty of games to go and make up and win. We're going to be facing Arsenal again, City. We're going to be facing Villa again. The teams that we lost to, we're going to get a repeat again to redeem ourselves back. The teams that we struggled with draws, we got to get those wins back again. So we're going to be able to fight back. We're going to have to do that. The transfer window is going to be huge. That's another episode to talk about what's going on, especially with Kobe, Bruno now, all that stuff. Words of Semeneo potentially coming. That's going to be down the road too. But going back to the match, overall, there were positives and there were negatives, but the positives were that you saw still fight, that they didn't give up, that they just didn't relinquish control. You saw the defensive backs pushing in. Luke Shaw showed a good game. To me, I felt he played very well. You saw that there. You saw Aiden Heaven fighting off with those headers. Lenny Euro still did well getting the ball back, moving it up. You saw that. There was still fight there. And Dorgu with the crosses, obviously, Cunha got the header, obviously, an inch. There were opportunities to either take the lead, tie it up. There were opportunities. It's the way the game goes. It's just the way it went. And unfortunately, the two goals were identical to each other, almost identical. Defensive errors has been the story. Offensively, we're there. Defensively, there are the struggles. So, but happy to. It's just going to take time. That's basically it. That's how I'm just going to leave it as. It is going to take time with this squad. It is. And the more pieces that we add, the pieces that we know that are going to help, it is going to be there. So yeah, for the men's player ratings, Aiden Heaven, 6.7, Euro 5.5, the two goals, defensive struggles, yes, but still 5.5. Shaw, to me, 6.5. Cunha, 6.8. Great goal, movement of the ball, just again, the second half trying to do everything on his own. Delo, 5.8. He did play well, but again, the defensive errors. That second goal, that second cross never should have happened with him. The reason why Aiden Heavens are not a lot higher is because of that cross at Delo, that off. Obviously, Aiden Heaven, again, young player. You saw what happened there. But Delo, 5.8. Bruno, 6, obviously losing him to the injury. Ugarte, 5.5. Struggled. Again, some of the goals with him on there, placement could have been there to help try to slow off the angle. Mason Mount, 6.4, played very well. Sesko, 6, got to score those goals, but overall, you saw him getting things back. You saw the movement, getting the pieces there. Obviously, everyone's going to talk about that touch when you're watching that collision happen. there's two things that you're looking at here. Like, you touch it too much. Like he does a small touch. Martinez and that defender getting him to him quickly. He touches it too hard. Obviously, it's going to go too far. Obviously, the right touch wasn't there. But trying to get out the ball a little bit further, kind of had to work to his advantage. If again, just it's going to be there. They're young. It's going to be there. Dorgu played very well. I'm giving him a 6.5. Great crosses there. That's the one thing I noticed with Bruno. I'll get that to after I'm done my rankings. Dorgu 6.5, especially with the assist. The press did well. Lemens 6. Tough on the first goal. Second goal, obviously inches away, but again, played very well. Martinez coming in to a different position, playing it there, playing disciplined, moving the ball well, commanding the mid. Obviously, some little struggles here and there, but I thought he played very well there. 6.7 for me. We had debuts, which I definitely thought was going to happen. So, Lacey, Fletcher, coming in for their debuts. 6.0 for both. Lacey had a nice shot on net. We hope that it was a little bit higher and a little bit more to the corner, but again, you saw him get a shot on net as well. Xerxes coming on as well. We don't know what's happening with Xerxes come the January transfer window, but we may never know. But 6.0 for Xerxes as well. So, but overall, there was a lot to learn from. There's a lot to watch. It's going to take time. The squad is going to take time. So it's just about managing and getting everything there. Injuries are part of the game, but hopefully we have those players back. It's going to be tough without Bruno, especially without Manu. Manu, we don't know how long he's out for. We're having Casemiro back on Friday, which is key. So the question is, how do they form up? Are we going to see Licha back in? Possibly, yes. Especially with Casemiro there, that leadership role as well. So we'll see that there. But yes, lots of things to learn at as well. So it's a tough loss. It's points dropped. Villa are playing very well. So Europe is not out of hand, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. We're going to see this team. We're going to get another. We're going to have a loss, ladies and gentlemen. But there is time. We're going to see Villa again. We're going to be those teams that we lost to. We got to pick up one of those wins the next time. The teams that we drew against, we got to get wins. We can't drop points. We're going to be facing Wolves again in about the team that we just beat 4-1. We're facing them again, and not this game, but the next game. So now we're going to be on the rotation of facing dual teams. There haven't been some teams that we haven't faced yet more than once. This is going to be the first time where we're going to repeat seeing them within the span of a couple of weeks or a month, basically. But we're going to keep going. But yeah, that's it for today's episode. I'm going to be back tomorrow, catching up on the men's squad and previewing the Newcastle game. I'm going to try and potentially get it out. Obviously, with the holiday season and everything, I will be trying to get an episode out early. Because, yeah, obviously due to the holiday, so potentially we'll have that episode out tomorrow, especially with Christmas Eve happening on Wednesday. And then Boxing Day, we have the match. I will be watching it. I cannot guarantee an episode Boxing Day night post-game, but keep an eye out for that. But, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, preview against Newcastle, as well as just catching up on the men's squad. I haven't really done a full, thorough episode on that men's squad, so keep a listen for that as well. But I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Again, like, subscribe, follow, whether on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Leave a comment, feedback, collaborations if you want to. Social media as well, Instagram, TikTok, and X. My handles are always posted on the clips at the beginning and the end, so don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and follow for those. But yes, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.